Chapter 16. Rocky had done its job. Kyle and everybody else locked inside the library was definitely awake. Even Charles Chiltington had come down to the rotunda reading room from Mr. Lemoncello's private suite. The only essay writer not with the group was Sierra Russell, who Kyle figured was off looking for another book to read. Wait, we're still locked in? Squealed Haley Daly. This is so lame, added Seth Keegan. It's like 11:30. I've got things to do, places to be. Look, you guys, said Kyle. They'll probably open the front door like right after we eat something. Well, where's the ridiculous librarian? Asked Charles Chiltington, who was never very nice when there weren't any adults in the room. Yeah, said Rose Burnett. I can't stay in here all day. I have a soccer game at 2. And dudes, said Sean Keegan, I have a life. Do you children require assistance? Said a soft motherly voice. It was the holographic image of Mrs. Tobin, the librarian from the 1960s. She was hovering a few inches off the ground in front of the center desk. Yes, said Kayla Corson. How do we get out of here? The librarian blinked, the way a second-hand calculator, the one your oldest brother dropped on the floor a billion times, does when it's figuring out a square root. I'm sorry, said the robotic librarian. I have not been provided with the answer to your question. Will we be doing brunch here this morning? Chiltington asked politely. I'm not hungry, but some of my chums sure are. After all, it is 11:30. The kitchen staff recently placed fresh food in the Book Nook Cafe. Thank you, Mrs. Tobin, said Chiltington. Would you like anything? A bowl of oatmeal, perhaps? No, thank you, Charles. I am a hologram. I do not eat food. I guess that's how you say stay so super skinny. Kyle shook his head. The smarmy guy was oilier than a soggy sack of fries. Listen to that simile. Oilier than a soggy sack of fries. He was even sucking up to a hologram. Charles Chiltington. Character trait, he's kind of a suck up when adults are around, but when the kids are around, he's not very nice to the other kids. Chiltington and the others traipsed off to have breakfast, but Kyle and Akimi stayed with the holographic librarian. I have a question, said Kyle. I'm listening. Is the library lock-in over? Aren't we supposed to go home now? Oh, Mr. Lemoncello will be addressing that issue today. Okay, thanks, Mrs. Tobin. You are welcome, Kyle. After the librarian faded to a flicker, Akimi said, by the way, Kyle, before we leave, you need to check out that room I slept in last night. The boardroom? Yeah, they call it that because guess what? It's filled with board games. All Lemoncellos? Nuh-uh. I mean, stuff from other companies. Some of it goes back way to the 1890s. I think it's Mr. Lemoncello's personal collection. It's like a museum up there. Kyle's eyes went wide. You hungry? He asked. Not really. I mean, we ate so much last night. You think we have time to check out the game museum? Follow me. The two friends bounded up the spiral staircase to the second floor. They found another set of steps to take them to the third. When they entered the boardroom, Kyle was blown away. Wow! The walls were lined with bookcases filled with antique games, tin toys, and card games. This is incredible. I guess, said Akimi, if you like games. Kyle smiled. Well, you know I do. They spent several quiet minutes wandering around the room, taking in all the wacky games that people used to play. There was one display case featuring 8 games with amazingly illustrated tops. A tiny spotlight illuminated each one. Wonder what's so special about these games, said Kyle. I don't know, maybe those were Mr. Lemoncello's favorites when he was a kid. Maybe, but the slogan etched in the glass confused Kyle. Luigi Lemoncello, the first and last word in games. But these aren't Lemoncello games, he mumbled. See, the first spotlighted game in the case was Howdy Doody's TV game. After that came Husker Du, You Don't Say, Like Minds, Fun City, Big Six Sports Games, like that one, Get the Message, and Rough and Ready. It's a puzzle, said Kyle with a grin. I thought they were games. They are. But if you string together the first or last word of each game title, he tapped the glass in front of the first box, you get the message. Really? Said Akimi, sounding skeptical. What do you think skeptical means? If you're skeptical. Really? What's Akimi saying? Yeah?
She's not sure.
Yeah, skeptical is, I'm not sure about this. I don't think this is actually a message or a game or a clue. You're not sure it's just a bunch of junk somebody picked up at a yard sale for like 50 cents? I'm positive. Kyle tapped each box as he cracked the code. Howdy. Do you like fun games? Get ready. Miguel Fernandez barged in the boardroom. Here you are. We need you guys in the Electronic Learning Center. Now. Why? Charles Chiltington wolfed down his breakfast, then raced up here to finish the game he started last night so he can enter as the first high scorer. So the game he's playing is about medieval castles and dungeons. This time Akimi went, so? He's escaping through the sewers. The game has smell-o-vision. You ever smelled a medieval sewer? Trust me, it's foul and disgusting. Ugh. Okay, so the titles of all of the games in the boardroom, or the old games, made a clue. Do you like fun games? Get ready. So Kyle, do you think he knows that he's going to have to solve clues to get out of the library?
No. Not yet.
You think he knows yet? I don't know if he knows yet. The three of them dashed up the hall and they entered the stinky room where Charles was sitting in a pedestal chair thumbing the controller. His avatar sloshed through a sewer pipe. Ooh. And the subwoofers built into his seat made every squish and splat rumble across the floor. Whoa, said Kyle. Knock it off, Charles. You're pumping out total tear gas. 'Cause I'm in the sewers underneath the horse stables. It's a secret way of getting out of the castle. I'm gonna win another game. That's 2 for me, Keeley. How many for you? Yo, said Miguel. This room is 2 stories above the cafe. The ductwork is connected. So the smell-o-vision from being in the stinky sewers is going through the ducts down into the Book Nook Cafe. Who cares? I'm winning. You're making everybody's food smell like horse manure. This time, Charles' chair went flump, and Kyle smelled pine trees. It was like one of those evergreen air fresheners that people will hang in their cars. Ah, this stupid thing's broken. Charles jumped out of the chair. I wouldn't do that if I were you, said Kyle. Why not? Because there's a security camera aimed over there, right at you. What? Where? See the blinking red light? An image of Kyle pointing up at the camera on every video screen was in the Electronic Learning Center until he was replaced by Mr. Lemoncello.